Hello and welcome back to Ranger in Time, Attack on Pearl Harbor, a book by Kate Mesner. In this video, we are going to cover comprehension questions for chapters 4 through 6 of Ranger in Time, Attack on Pearl Harbor. Chapter 4, Battle Stations. Chapter 4, Comprehension Questions. Number 1. What ship were Ben Hansen and his friends Jerry and Chow aboard when the Japanese attacked Pearl Harbor on the morning of December 7, 1941? Sample answer. Ben Hansen, Jerry, and Chow were aboard the battleship USS Arizona when the Japanese attacked Pearl Harbor on the morning of December 7, 1941. Question 2. When did Ben Hansen know the planes flying over Pearl Harbor on the morning of December 7, 1941, were attacking this U.S. naval base? Sample answer. Ben Hansen knew the planes flying over Pearl Harbor on the morning of December 7, 1941, were attacking the U.S. naval base when one of the planes dropped a torpedo which hit the USS Oklahoma, causing that battleship to burst into flames. Question 3. Why did Ben Hansen climb down a ladder during the attack to get to a lower deck where his fellow shipmates aboard the USS Arizona were still sleeping? Sample answer. Ben made his way down to a lower deck aboard the USS Arizona during the Japanese air attack to wake his fellow shipmates so they could man their battle stations and defend the ship. Ben also wanted to make sure his shipmates wouldn't get trapped in their bunks by smoke and fires from the attack. Chapter 5, Rescue Below Deck. Chapter 5, Comprehension Questions. Why was it challenging for Ranger to get to the man who needed help below deck aboard the USS Arizona on the morning of December 7, 1941? Sample answer. To get to the man who needed help below deck aboard the USS Arizona, Ranger had to climb down a ladder. Most dogs, including Ranger, are not comfortable climbing up or down a ladder. Question 2. What were 4 things that made it challenging for Ben to get his friend Ed out of danger aboard the USS Arizona the morning of December 7, 1941? Sample answer. 4 things that made it difficult for Ben to get his friend Ed out of danger aboard the USS Arizona the morning of December 7, 1941 included the fact that Ed was below deck in an area filled with heat and smoke, the fact that Ed was overcome by smoke and was thus unable to climb the ladder on his own to get to safety, the fact that Ed was too heavy for Ben to carry up the ladder on his own, and finally, the fact that the USS Arizona was on fire and still under attack by Japanese fighter planes. Chapter 6, Attack on Battleship Row. Chapter 6, Comprehension Questions. Why did Paul and Grace Yamada decide to stop heading toward Ford Island in their little rowboat and start heading back to where they started on the morning of December 7, 1941? Sample answer. Paul and Grace Yamada decided to stop heading toward Ford Island because Japanese fighter planes were attacking the island. Paul and Grace could see that if they kept heading toward Ford Island, they could be spotted by a Japanese fighter pilot and shot. Question 2. Why did Paul and Grace Yamada decide to turn back and head toward Battleship Row, even though this action put them in danger of being shot by Japanese fighter pilots? Sample answer. Paul and Grace Yamada started rowing back toward Battleship Row, putting themselves in danger because they wanted to help U.S. sailors who were wounded in the water and screaming for help. And this wraps up the comprehension questions for chapters 4 through 6 for Ranger in Time, Attack on Pearl Harbor.